Thomas B12 here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a web application or progressive web application in HTML, CSS, and JS. So let's get right into it. So what I'll be using today is Replit. So I'm going to go to replit.com. If you don't have an account there, you should create one. It's a very easy coding website. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a REPL. I'm going to click HTML, CSS, JS. If it's not there, you can click HTML, type HTML right there. It'll pop up. You can click HTML, CSS, JS. Right here, I'm just going to do web application tutorial. The link for this REPL will be in the description, so you can look and see how it should look if you're having trouble. Then I'm going to create a REPL. Click the Create REPL button. And as you can see, it's going to give us some stuff in here. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is, I usually delete this. If you want to have a made with Replit badge on your website, you can keep that there, but I'm going to delete it. I don't usually like keeping that on the page. But the first thing we're going to do is, you can edit your home page however you like, but a couple things we're going to do is, first we're going to do link relate, or rel equals, and right here we're going to do manifest. We're going to create this file later, and then we're going to do href equals, and we're going to do manifest.json or JSON / manifest.json, and then we're going to put the end, and this is our link right here. So that's going to be our manifest. It's what makes our app. It defines some of our app variables. So once you have that, the next thing you can do is you can go over to Files, over here on the left. You can click New File. You can name this sw.js. I'm going to name it sw, or you can name it serviceworker.js, but I'm just going to name it sw.js. This is our service worker. And the first thing you're going to do is we're going to do a comment if you want. I'm going to put install service worker. And right here we're going to do self.add-event-listener. It should already pop up right there. And I'm going to do install inside some quotes there. And inside this parentheses, I'm going to do function. And I'm going to do event. Then I'm going to open this up right here. Should have brackets and a parenthesis right there. And then we're going to do event.wait until, and we're going to do caches.open. And right here you can put whatever cache name you want. For me, I'm just going to do tutorial web app cache. And then I'm going to do .then function cache. And then right here, what we're going to do is we're going to put another curly bracket, and then right here we're going to do return.cache.addAll, and right here what we're going to do is we're going to add some, oh sorry, you're not supposed to put a period there, just saw that there was an error. You're supposed to do return cache.addAll, and then right here we're going to do some URLs. And we're going to do whatever URLs you want to cache. So this is going to make it so you can use your app offline. So your app will still show the pages because they're indexed on the cache. So it'll still show all of them. So /index.html, and then we're going to do style.css so we can get the styles. /script.js. Just log all the files that you want to run offline and be able to work, including the dependent files. So if so script.js, you're never actually going to view it. Most users aren't going to actually view it, but you're still going to need it because it's going to need it right here. Script.js, it's going to request it, and you're still going to have that in there for it to request it. So make sure to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place some semicolons right here, and right here. And that's the end of that. So this is the first part of the service worker. We're going to add some more. So let's get to the next one. All right, so the next part of this service worker is the part where we activate it. So I'm going to put a comment to show that this is activating the service worker. So I'm just going to put activate service worker. And then right here I'm going to do another self.add, oops, spelled that wrong, self.add event listener. And then I'm going to do activate function event again. And we're just going to open these curly brackets up. And we're going to do event.wait until. So far pretty much the same as the last time. And then this time we're going to do caches.keys.then function cache names. And then right here we're going to open up another curly bracket. And then we're going to do return promise.all. And then here we're going to do cache names.filter function cache name. And right here we're going to open yet another curly brackets set. And right here we're going to do just any caches you want to delete, you can delete them here. So I'm just going to do filter or delete any old caches. And then right here we're going to do map function cache name. Going to open up some curly brackets, and we're going to do return caches.delete cache name, semicolon. And then now we're going to add some semicolons to all the parts where we need them. One right here, skip this one right here, and one on the last one. And that's the next part. So for the next part, the last part of the service worker, we're going to fetch it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add another comment. I'm going to do fetch service worker. And right here I'm going to do self.add event listener. Probably guessed it by now. And we're going to do fetch. And we're going to do function event. Then you can open up some curly brackets. Don't worry, we're almost done with those curly brackets. And then we're going to do event.respond with. And in here you can just do caches.match, event.request, and we're going to do then function response. And right here we're going to open up some curly brackets again. And we're going to do return response, or, so two of those straight line things. I'll put it in the video when I remember what they're called. And I'm going to do fetch event.request right here. Alright, and then we're going to add some semicolons to where we need them. So there's going to be one right here, and there's going to be one right here. Alright, so that is actually the end of the service worker. So you can, once you have this down, you're done with the service worker. Make sure it's saved, and then we can move on to the next part of the code. Alright, so for the next part of the code, we're going to actually create another file, and this one's going to be called manifest.json. Yes, it's the same exact JSON file that we put right here, because we're going to need it to actually be able to define our app. So we're going to open up a set of curly brackets, and right here we're going to do two strings or quotes, and then inside we're going to do name. Then you're going to do a colon, and you can put whatever name you want this to be called. So if I open up my app right here, so I use the same functionality for this, as you can see it says Thomas P12's website, Thomas P12 app home. This is the title of the website that you're on this app, and then this is the actual app name. So for me it's Thomas P12's website, but in here I'll just do tutorial app, and that's what it's going to be in the title bar. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do short name. Now, I don't know where this shows up inside an app. I've never seen it yet, so I don't think this will matter, but I'm still going to put tutorial app right there as the short name. I think it's meant to be a short name. I don't know what uses it again. I don't know. But and then you're going to do a comma, and then right here we're going to do description. And right here you're going to put the description of your website or app that you're making. And right here I'm just going to put a tutorial app for Thomas B12's video. And then I'm going to do a comma. And then right here I'm going to do start URL. Now this is actually pretty interesting. So if you want your app to start on index.html, you can put index.html. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create app.html. And right here I'm just going to put app for the website tutorial thing. And then in the manifest.json, I can switch this to app.html, and that's what it's going to start up when you click the app. So for me, I set up an app.html for my website. So I actually start it with the app, and obviously this is not the home page of my website. So yeah, so I can start it with different ones. But yeah, you can start with whatever URL you want, and then you're going to do a comma, and right here we can do display. Now, this is the display. I recommend using standalone. So the display is standalone, so that means it's going to be displayed like this, like mine right here. So it's going to have its own title bar, everything. I'll put some other display modes in the description below, but that's basically what it is. Standalone is the best way, I think, to do it. Most people use standalone. And then you're going to do comma, background, color this time, inside quotes. And right here you're going to put a hex code. Now you can look it up on Google or use ChatGPT or do it like hex code conversion. But you're just going to put a hex code. For me, I'm just going to do FFDDFF. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but it's just some hex code. And then we're going to do theme color. Instead of background color, we're going to do theme color, and this is what's going to be the theme color for your website, so your web app. So for me, it's 00000, because that way it's black, but you can change it to whatever you want. For me, I'm just going to do DDFFDD this time. All right, and then we're going to do comma, and this time we're going to do icons. So for this, you have to open up some brackets, and in here, we're just going to do some icons. And the first thing you're going to put in these curly brackets, which I just placed here, is you're going to do source or src, and we're going to put a URL of the picture that's going to be on your app. So for me, it's a creeper, my profile image for most things. So that's what I put on there. So I'm just going to use that for this one too. I can do thomasb12.com/assets/profile.png. That's where this is located. And then I'm going to do a comma. And right here is the sizes. So what I'm going to put here is I'm going to do 192 times 192. That's the size for the smaller version of the icon. And then on this one, we're going to do type. And this one depends on what your image type is. So mine is PNG. If yours is PNG, you can put image/PNG. If yours is JPG or JPEG file, you can do .jpg. You can just do image / the type of image it is. You can look it up if you don't know. But I'm going to do image/PNG because that's what mine is. Alright, and then if you want more icons, which I'm going to add one more, I'm going to do a 512 by 512. Or actually, I'll just paste this in. I just copied it. So right here, it's going to do the same thing, but this time you can change the sizes to 512 by 512. Whenever you're doing this, just make sure to add a comma, and at the end, don't add a comma, because then that will signify that there's another one when there's really not. But yeah, you can edit it to have as many sizes as you want, as many icons size. But after you're done with the icons, you're done. Alright, so this is the manifest.json file for your web app. As you can see, we already included it there, so we don't need to do anything else. And let's get on to the next part. Alright, so for the next part of this code tutorial for the web app is we're going to actually register our service worker, because right now it's not registered, and we need it to register, otherwise people can't use it offline. So we're going to do script and create a script. So we're going to do /script right there, and then we can start coding inside this. So in here you have to do it in your main index.html file so it can log all the different service worker stuff. And once you do that, you can do if service worker, and then you're going to do in navigator, lowercase. And you can open this up. And in here we're going to do navigator.serviceWorker.register. And whatever you put as the link to your service worker, you're going to put right here. So for me, it's sw.js, so I'm just going to do /sw.js. And then I'm going to do .then, and I'm going to do function registration. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do console.log, and I'm going to do service worker registered with scope, and then you're going to do a comma, and you're going to do registration.scope. And then this is the scope, service worker registered with scope, and then we're going to do .catch function error, and we're going to open the curly brackets up, and we're going to do console.error, and we're going to do failed to register service worker, and then I'm going to do error, and right here I'm actually going to put a colon just to make it look better in the console, and right here you can do semicolon right there. And then once you're done with that, you can actually do a semicolon right there too. That's all you need to do. And once you're done with this, you are actually done with the whole web application setup. So you can start your website, run it, and let's test it out. Alright guys, so here I am. I'm going to test out my web application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do open a new tab or go to the website listed right here. And as you can see, it's going to say hello world, and as you can see in the top right, it's going to say app available. And before we do that, I'm actually going to do Control-Shift-J to open the console. And right here, it says service worker registered with scope. This isn't an actual error related to any of the things we did. It's just looking for an icon to do for right here. So it's actually going to put service worker registered with scope, and now we can see that it's registered with the link. So after that's done, we can do app available, and it's going to say install tutorial app. This site can be installed as an application, blah blah blah, safely integrate with Windows features. Just click install, and it's going to install, and now you can, as you can see, it's going to say app installed, and publisher to web application tutorial.thomasb12.rebel.co. It's automatically going to put your website name right there, and you can just click allow. Change these settings if you want, and then as you can see, it's going to say hello world. So obviously it's not going to go to the app.html because it just started with the actual index.html because we installed it when we were in index.html. But if we just close out of it, first I'm going to pin it to taskbar. Oh, it's already pinned. And then I'm going to close out of it. I'm going to click it again. And as you can see, now it's going to say app for the website tutorial thing. And if you can see, for a minute, it flashes pink. I'll try to pause it while I'm editing to show you the pink. And if you can see it, there's a flash of pink right there. That's basically what the manifest.json FFDDFF and DDFFDD. So it's green, light green, and pink. And as you can see, it says tutorial app, exactly how we put it there. And I don't know where to find the description or short name, so you can try to look that up if you want. But yeah, this is how to create a web application in HTML, CSS, and JS. Thomas V12.